You're already bleeding when the door kicks open, the sound too sharp, too final, splintering through the room before your mind can catch up. Cold air rushes in as your hand moves under the table, reaching for the gun you practiced drawing 1,000 times, but you're too slow. He stands there, the man you've shadowed for 8 months, his expression shifting in stages. Confusion, recognition, certainty. You see the exact moment your cover disappears, and instead of panic, you calculate. Distance, angle, blood loss, probability. None of it favors you. Your hand stops, then lowers. You didn't choose this life because you were brave. You chose it because you were precise. That's what they saw in you: patterns, languages, patience stretched across months without error. The building where it began had no windows, always held at 19 degrees Celsius, fluorescent lights humming like a constant reminder that time didn't belong to you anymore. They didn't formally take your name, they just stopped using it until it felt unfamiliar, replaced by something cleaner, easier to erase. They told you it would be controlled risk, but they never explained how easily you would forget yourself inside it. Every day became performance, not dramatic but exact. You woke up as someone else through small adjustments: the way you stood, the rhythm of your speech, the slight delay before answering questions so it sounded natural in the wrong language. Breakfast at 7:10, same seat, same cup, same slow movements you learned to mirror. You stopped writing things down because paper could betray you, so everything lived in your head. Faces, numbers, fragments of conversation arranged like a structure you could walk through at will. You slept lightly, always aware of footsteps beyond the walls, always measuring whether they passed or paused. Weeks blurred into something shapeless, and 8 months became just a number without weight. The system you operated in was never explained. You learned it in silence. Don't stand out. Don't refuse directly. Stay consistent above all else. Money moved in quiet increments, and you learned what amounts drew attention and what slipped through untouched. You adapted, not by breaking rules, but by bending them just enough to remain useful. You stopped asking why because the question had no place here. Then it breaks on something small. A single word, a single vowel spoken slightly wrong. Not enough for anyone outside the room, but enough for someone who knows. There's a pause, less than a second, but you feel it expand, stretching across the space between you. Questions follow, casual on the surface, but sharper underneath, circling back to details you've already given. You answer the same way, steady and precise, because consistency is survival, but the pattern has been disturbed. The next day, routines shift subtly. Timings change by minutes. New faces appear. Conversations revisit old ground. They're not accusing you, not yet, but they're watching, testing, narrowing the space you can move in. You calculate your options. Draw now and destroy everything in seconds. Wait for night and gamble on uncertainty. Or trust in extraction that hasn't come and may never come. Your hand rests near the gun, your pulse steady, your mind clear. You could end it, burn the operation, turn 8 months into nothing, or you could wait. You've always been good at waiting. Your grip tightens, then loosens. Somewhere in that stillness, something inside you shifts. Not fear, distance. You try to remember your original name, the one that existed before all of this, and it doesn't come easily. The identity you've been living feels more immediate, more real than anything that came before it. The mission itself starts to fade. Objectives, timelines, extraction points, all of it feels secondary now. What remains is the role, the pattern you've maintained for 243 days without breaking. You realize then that survival was never the true measure. It was endurance, how long you could exist inside a lie without noticing the absence of anything real. The man steps closer, your blood hitting the floor in slow, steady drops, and he says your name, not the one you were born with, but the one you became here. You respond without hesitation, automatically, correctly, and for a moment the system stabilizes again, as if nothing has shifted at all. And when it finally ends, quietly, without spectacle, there's no resolution waiting for you. No acknowledgement of what you held together for so long. Somewhere far away, a file is updated, a designation marked inactive. A new candidate moved into training under the same cold lights, at the same controlled temperature, repeating the same steps you once followed. The system continues without pause, precise and indifferent, erasing you as easily as it used you. And in that absence, the only thing that lingers is the pattern itself, waiting for someone else careful enough, patient enough, to disappear into it completely, just as you did.